Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right to it. So let's cover Apple. Apple is the monster in the house. It is just doing some amazing things. So today it had one resistance level there. Let's go ahead and mark this off correctly so we understand what's going on with our trade. So Apple had resistance at about 136 and it beat it, but then it came back down. Now, why is Apple getting rejected here? Well, very simple. If you have taken my courses, you will know that you have a volume profile here, and we're going to turn on our indicator so we can see the volume profile. Okay, and you can see that our resistance is this top shelf right here, and Apple actually made it to about 137 today. Okay, let's come back over to our chart. So we went to about 137.29 area. Okay, and you can see on the volume profile there's not a lot of resistance there, so we could see Apple continuing to move up. Now what we're looking for tomorrow, if you are trading Apple, which I'm in at 134. Now we can see with our volume profile once again here, we do have a gap that Apple can fill. So what do we want to see from Apple tomorrow? Okay, very simple. As we always say, we want to see a retest, and then we want to see the stock come back up and challenge resistance areas again. It's okay if it comes down to about 134 area, and I want to see Apple continue on its way up, which I think might happen tomorrow, just depending. Again, if we have news will always give us a yuck mouth, right? It will not do the right things to our stock. So Apple is looking very bullish right now, and like I said, I'm in at 134. I am prepared with some puts under 134 because I want to protect my investment. I bought some shares, and if you want to learn how to protect your investment, right, you want to buy options that go the other way, and you want to hold on to your shares. I cover this in the course, so I'm going to leave you guys a link below. If you're interested, you can learn how to do this. It's very simple, so you don't lose your money like a lot of people did in 2022. And now, before I forget, guys, if you guys have been enjoying these videos, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to know when the next video is coming out. Now, I suspect this week earnings is going to do its thing, and I think that the banks are going to continue not to do well as expected, and other companies. So be ready for a small bull run. I think everything is pointing that way. Again, if we have some bad news, people might want to sell. I think tomorrow in the morning we start with a pullback, but I think Apple will continue on. So let's go on to the next stock. All right, let's take a look at SPX. As previously stated before, we know there is a gap to fill with SPX. So let's take a look at that on a smaller scale to make this easier for you. So the green line, remember, is our 200-day moving average. We do have a gap that can be filled here, and our volume profile demonstrates the same thing. So let me turn off indicators for a second here. Except for our 200-day moving average, which is super important for us right now. Let's come over and look, because SPX did get past it today, and you can see there, let me get rid of my old resistance line here that helps guide me. We went above the price, and looks like we almost closed right above the 200, which is super bullish once it does do it. But keep an eye on SPX. I personally am not trading SPX for a while, just because of the volatility, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's get rid of some of these drawings, and let's go over to the 15-minute. Okay, if you're playing SPX, you can see, okay, from this point on, we've had a really nice trend up, almost like a little bull run here, right? You guys can see that we've had a nice little channel on the way up. SPX continues to stay in that channel up until this afternoon where it pulled back a little bit. I don't trust this, right? It's only 15-minute chart, so it could easily fall under that line and then pop back up. But the part I'm talking about is if you're playing it like I do, you've had this, okay, and it just continues to be very unpredictable. It does what it wants to do. I think market makers are having fun with this. And look at that. I mean, this is just crazy. So if they see a lot of calls, or let's just say for this example, they see a lot of puts being bought, they're going to raise the price, right? They see a lot of calls coming in, they're going to lower it. And that's what we've been having so far. They're just not going to pay for the record amount of puts and call ratio that are going on right now. And you can see this is just incredible, right? The volatility is just not making sense to me. And it's very hard to get an entry point. I mean, at some point, this is going to change. So this is what I've been seeing. And if you guys turn off the candles, just look at that. That's just crazy. If you look at what the stock's been doing on a 15-minute level. So if you're trading it on the swing, it's easy to just say, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to wait for the 4-hour indicators. And I'm just going to play off the MACD, which is one way you can play it, right? So on the MACD, even the 4 hours had some little volatility there. And you can see that this would have been a great entry point right in here. But let me show you what happens in a volatile market. So you get in there and then you can get faked out and get out there, right? And then you're going to want to get back in or out, however you're playing it. And it's just, this has been a really bad time here. So I just decided I'm going to play Apple because Apple is the biggest market cap and everybody follows Apple. So SPX, again, be careful with it. Very volatile. It looks like it might make a small bull run. So you might have a chance here. So one of the things I want you guys to take into consideration is, whoops, lost my indicator there. Let me put that back on. Take into consideration, just so you know where the stock is really going, take your 30-minute time frame and look at your stock, and you can see on the 30-minute, okay, this is not bad at all. If you've been following SPX, right, it seems to be in a nice bull run here. Same thing with Apple, except I like the 30-minute because it kind of starts warning me what's about to happen. So if I extend this out, I'll show you guys real quick. Apple did good today, right? So we started out about 9:30 right in here, okay? And we came up on the 30-minute. We had a really nice bull run there, okay? But then if you look at the rest of the day, okay, we just kind of went into a, what I think is a bearish rectangle here, right? And the reason I think it's bearish is because we started seeing a dip in the numbers. And let me point that out real quick to you guys. So we just started going downwards, okay? Now, can that be a pullback? Absolutely. But we will have a pullback in the morning. If not, it's going to be because of news and Apple said this and they said that. But if we follow the charts on technical analysis, okay, this is due for a pullback, okay? And here you go. Their MACD flip, okay? And we have 3 half-an-hour bars there that shows we're coming down. Now, can we still pop up from here? Absolutely. I'll show you. This happened before, so be careful in this area. You see it went down, then up, then down, up, and then down. So what I like to do is I like to watch this area. Okay, before I commit into shorting it, I'm going to wait till it gets out of this box. These boxes work in the MACD as well. I cover them in the courses and also in the private community. We are in Telegram if you guys are interested. You guys can join us, and I cover this in charts in the room every single day. So what will happen tomorrow? My estimate based off of technical analysis, we need a pullback and then we can continue going up. So understand that if you haven't entered a trade. All right, let's go ahead and look at the rest of our stocks and I'll show you briefly what everybody is doing, right? So Amazon is doing the same thing. It's pulling back. Nice little channel there. Then we have Google, which is not technically doing that. It's still headed up, but it did have a red candle at the end of the trading session today. We have Microsoft, who is just being super bullish here. Nice green candle at the end. Tesla, same thing, very bullish. Look at that nice little channel on the way up. QQQ. Now this one is a bull. I've considered entering QQQ, okay, because it is doing what Microsoft is doing, and sometimes the premiums are better on QQQ than they are with Microsoft. You can see very similar. Now, with all these stocks, some are going up, some are headed down, right? This is Apple. This is why SPX has all of the volatility, because some of these ticker symbols obviously are in there, the S&P 500. So one pulls up and then the other stock pulls down. So SPX is doing this because it's a tug of war right now. So I'm staying away from SPX just because of that reason until we start settling out. So at some point we're going to build a trend again after all the earnings are reported and after the banks, right? We're thinking the banks are going to do really bad. So once the dust settles, I think we'll start seeing normal trades up and down, up and down. So let me give you one more. If you are bearish, let me give you a bearish trade that I noticed today. And here we go. You guys know I do keep an eye on Ulta. Okay, Ulta is still headed up, right? We can draw our little channel there. Okay, but I did see on the 30-minute, okay, it did start dipping here. It's got a pullback. I'm wondering, will they continue to go down or will they go up? So I'm keeping an eye on this. I think we're going to go bearish just because it's overbought on every time frame that you look at. All right, another one I watch, one of my favorites is Melly. Melly is starting to be very bearish. Check that out, huh? So we see we are in a downtrend on the MACD, the 1 hour, okay? Now, before you decide to short Melly, remember Melly has lots of fans right now. A lot of people love it, analysts love it, but we are going down. And you can see potentially this could just be a pullback and Melly can continue to go up. So my bet is that Melly is going to bust through and it's going to make some nice numbers. So I'm keeping an eye on Melly for some option calls. So I hope this helps, guys. Don't let the news confuse you this week. Keep an eye on your lines and I think you will do well. Until the next video, wishing you guys a great day tomorrow.